What is debit and credit?
Debit is an entry of the left-hand side of an account, continuous thing, an addition to an expenses or asset account, or a deduction from a revenue, net worth, or liabilities account. What is credit? Credit is an entry that records a decrease in assets or increase in liabilities, as well as a decrease in expense and or increase in revenue, as opposed to a debit that does that opposite. In double entry accounting, every transaction is recorded with a debit and credit in two or more accounts, which categorize different types of financial activities in a company general ledger. Debit and credit are both opposite and equal through each line. Debit and credit doesn't necessarily have an equal counterpart. Occur
Simultaneously and represent a transfer of value.
Therefore, such accounts are said to have a natural or natural positive credit and debit balance. Credit or debit balance based on which one increases the account. For example, assets have natural debit balance because the type of account increases which a debit.
Let's talk about why are debits and credits important.
Debit and credit keep a company books in balance. They are recorded in pairs for every transaction, so a debit of one financial account requires a credit of sum of a credit of equal value to other financial accounts. This process lies at the heart of the double entry accounting. Accuracy is crucial because accounts roll up into specific lines on a company balance sheet or income statement, both of which paint picture of a company financial health, value, and profitability. They also inform decision-making, intentional and external stakeholders including companies' management, ledgers, investors, and tax agencies.
Do you know how are debits and credits used?
Debit and credit indicate value flowing into and out of a business. They are equal but opposite and work hand in hand. For every transaction, an account or bookkeeper places a debit in one account and a credit in another account. No matter how many accounts or line items are involved, the total value of debit equals to the total value of credit.
Debit and credit system.
Debit and credits from the foundation of accounting system, the mechanism of system must be memorized. Once you understood, you will able to properly classify your entered transaction. These entries make up the data used to prepare financial statement such as balance sheet and income statement. Every accounting transaction involves at least one debit and credit. The sum of debit are the sum of credit for each transaction, and the total of all transactions are always equal. A list of all transactions appear in all general ledger. Debits are always presented before credits. There is no debit without a credit. A debit increases the balance of an asset, expense, or loss account, and decreases the balance of liability, equity, revenue, or gain account. Debits are recorded on the left side of accounting journal entry. Therefore, a credit increases the balance of liability, equity, gain or revenue, account and decreases the balance of an asset, loss or expenses account. Credit are recorded on the right side of the journal entry.
You've heard about debits and credits. You know they increase and decrease certain accounts. Every account falls under one of the following 5 categories: assets, expenses, liabilities, equity, and revenue. Assets and expenses increase when you debit the accounts and decrease when you credit them. On the other hand, liabilities, equity, and revenue increase when you credit the accounts and decrease when you debit them. So now, let's categorize the accounts falls under the 5 main types of accounts. Some examples of asset accounts include checking, petty cash, inventory, and accounts receivable. Ang mga accounts naman fall under expense ay payroll, insurance, rent, equipment, at cost of goods sold. Sa liability accounts ay payroll taxes liabilities, sales tax collected, credit memo liability, at accounts payable. Sa equity naman, ang ilang examples ng accounts ay owner's equity, common stock, at retained earnings. At ang huli ay ang revenue accounts. Ang mga halimbawa ng accounts fall under revenue are product sales, earned interest, and miscellaneous income. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned from our video presentation and I hope you like it.